is worth far more than rubies. Works with eager hands, she's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. Gets up while it's still night, provides food for her family. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She is a woman, a queen. On Safe Heaven, we create a safe space where women open their hearts, share their stories, and inspire others with their journeys. From career and business achievers to single mothers, widows, and all women waiting on God, we are here to celebrate you. Hi people, welcome to another episode of now we're in season 2, Safe Heaven. I'm so glad, like I told you, consistency is what we are doing this year. I am so happy because we're in February and definitely we are talking about love. And this day we are talking about marriage. And with who else other than my family? So I am joined by my lovely cousins and I am so glad. And imagine what, guys, I have brought you one man because I don't want you to say that, oh, this is just a woman talk. This is also a men talk platform, a safe space for everyone. So today we are talking about this verse in the Bible. I'll put it down in the in the link. I'll put it down, the verse that says men should love their wives as Christ loved the church. Does this exist? Is it normal? Is it crazy? Is it too much? Well, guys, welcome to my family. Let's hear them talk. So, welcome. That is all. Over to you guys. So, guys, like I was saying, is it something that is unusual? And I want us to start with the men. I'll put you on the spot. His name is Mosha. Before you can wait to the people. Yes. So, is it realistic when the Bible says a man should love the wife as Christ loved the church? Does it happen? Is that what we should expect even as single people? Should we expect a man to love us as Christ loved the church?
Thank you for that. And I would say that is the way it should. And we should always be aiming to love as Christ loved the church. And when you think even our spiritual journey as we aim to be like Christ, there is always, as I say, marriage is designed in the Bible. And we are always, but we don't live inside that Bible. We come and live here. And we say every time every man is striving. Those who are so intentional about marriage, that happens. We never get there, but we aim to get there.
I hope you heard that, people. We don't live in the Bible. We live by the Bible. That is just awesome. To the girls, to the ladies, talk to us. Yeah. Feel free, anyone can do.
Let me start. That's an interesting point that marriage is in the Bible, but we don't live in the Bible. So, I want to pick from where Muchai has talked about just like we strive to be like Christ. And that is what I would say definition of marriage is. It is more for holiness than happiness. So, God wanted us to have a template. So, He always reminds us about Christ and the church so that it can serve as an example of how a man and a woman should live in a house or in a marriage. So, I would say, like he has said, it may not be attained always that men will love women as Christ loved the church, or even women that we shall be able to submit to men like the bride of Christ and Christ. But just like our relationship with God, we try every day. We fail, yes, but what is the attitude? Keep trying. Every day you rise up, you tell yourself it's another day to try and live up to the expectations of God. So just like we keep repenting between our relationship with God, that is how it is a man and a woman in a home. Mnakosana, mnaombana msamaha, mnaendelea striving each day to be what God has told us to be. Yeah, I think that is how I would describe it.
Yeah. Does your man love you as Christ loved the church? Do you get it in 100%? Is that what did you get? Like you say, you get what you ask for, or you ordered whatever, that online buy, you order something, and then is that what you got? Is that what you are praying for? Did you even have that in mind? Like you have a man who loves you as Christ loved the church?
Well, I think it's every woman's desire to have her man love her just like Christ loved the church. But in my thinking, what does this verse mean? Loving your wife like Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? He gave up. He gave up the heavenly kingdom to come down and love the church. He died for the sins of the church. So what does that mean that a man should love the wife like Christ loved the church? It means that you give up pleasures. You give up things that just will benefit you for the sake of loving your wife. And I think that is what I think about a husband loving the wife just like Christ loved the church. You have asked if I think I am loved just like Christ loved the church. It may not have happened all along, but I think, like Cyrus said, he's aiming there. So far, I thank God, he's aiming at, he's intentional in loving me like Christ loved the church. Thank you.
Over to you. Did you have a list before you got married? Do you think that list actually was a good list compared to now, what you know now? Did you actually get it in the husband that you
See, we had, as young girls, we had a lot of expectations, so to say, and we had the physical list: tall, dark, handsome. We had maybe the qualities you wanted in a man in terms of their spirituality, in terms of their behavior. I can't say this. Okay, maybe there are a few lucky ones that get 100% of it, but at least so long as they are meeting the key and the major things that you think are important in your life, then I think that brings the conclusion of the person you choose. Did I get the list?
give percentage?
No, I will not give a percentage. It's right here, my friend. So, so I can't give a percentage, but at least the key things I wanted in a man are there. At least
Ndirikanagorentwigaga
there was the key
Liza
things.
amepata chali mhandi.
So, oh Lord. So now, okay, in terms of qualities, I believe I go, even though not 100%, I got maybe majority of the things I want. About him loving me as Christ loved the church, we said marriage is work. I think someone mentioned that marriage is work, and it is actually work. And like everyone, like he has said, it is just the same way as a spiritual journey. Like you aim to reach that bar in your spirituality, because all you yearn for is having eternal life, but we keep failing. So yeah, in marriage, there are always those good times, the times that are at their peak, that you feel yes, you have all put in every effort to make it work. But also there are some low times in marriages where things are not working, where you're not in terms,
But I think now that work comes in how are you resolving your issues? Are you intentional about resolving and coming back together like the way things used to be? So I think it's all about the effort that you're putting in resolving your issues. Because just like the church, we keep sinning, we keep repenting, like our Rev right here said. But yeah, same thing in marriage. Are you willing to sacrifice? Because you see that Christ loving the church sacrificed his own self, like he has said, to for us. So are you willing to sacrifice maybe that thing that you feel is blocking this thing? You may really want it, but are you willing it to drop for the sake of this marriage? I think that's what I would say.
Okay, Moshe, I think it's on that side. I never hear the Bible saying, woman, love your husband. Is it that, does it mean you're not supposed to love him? Or you just expect us to submit? Like, what does it mean? Are we not supposed to love? You understand? Like, because ours is not like that, like as Christ loved the church. I think that's a very high expectation, but it's the word of God anyway. Does it mean we are not supposed to love you? Then what are we supposed to do? How do you receive our love?
Okay, to respond to that, when you say, I think the Bible is trying just to give the other side of the story. It's not that you're not supposed to love as a lady. It's giving the other side of the, and you know, I this is what I feel about that verse. It's where the Bible is giving the other side of the story, where when the man loves, when you are loved, what happens? It's easier for you to submit, and I usually give it to even the animals that we tame. When the animal realizes, let me use a very bad example of a dog. When the dog knows it's loved, it submits. So may I usually say the Bible starts with that. So when you are loved, it's easier for you to submit. That's the way I look at it that way. So there are no two ways about it where you cannot submit before you are loved, and if there is a disconnect between the two, it will not work.
I love that. I totally love that. And I'll ask you maybe now, how is it for you guys to submit? What does it mean even to submit to a woman? What is it? What is this submission? What are we submitting to?
Well, try to respond to that. Maybe I don't know how well mine will be, but I just imagine, as he said, when you're loved, there's the response, and it comes out automatically. Like in authority, or when you're given some commands, it is going to be easier for you when you know that this person does these things for me. So whatever I do to him must always be what maybe is expected. If it is that washing, I am going to be happy doing all the work in the house or helping him when he needs my assistance. For example, when we say about washing, we don't mean that I have to keep washing. Maybe there are even people who are doing it for them, or we have equipment to do all that. But whatever help he may need, I am the help that God gave to this man. So what do I do in return to the love? I will automatically submit. I get that from the Bible or from the explanation that was done there before. Because when he said that when you do good things to this dog, it responds in a certain way. So the same way to this human being, I am a human being. And like this dog, I have thoughts. This person has good thoughts for me. So what do I do in return? I will also be good to him. That is how I may understand the word submit. Yes.
Is it easy? People go to our head. What does submission also now do look like? And is it
I will summarize. When you're loved right, you will automatically submit. When you're loved, you give back that love to your man, to your spouse. Summary. Thank you.
So what if he doesn't give you it doesn't mean he does not love you, right? You shouldn't submit as a woman. Because a lot of people say when a man loves you, then you submit. They're two totally different verses. So does it mean what now?
First of all, I think the word of God, I would imagine, always asks us or commands us to do the things that are not easy for us to do. And that is why God has to put it as a command. So that if not for anything else, you are doing it because God says you do it. So he looked at the setup of a home and decided this man is finding it very difficult to love his wife. So what should I do? I have to put it in the word that, man, can you love your wife as Christ loved the church? So that if for no other reason, you'll do it because I said it. And it's because it's not easy for the man to love. Likewise, the woman, even from the Garden of Eden, had to be reminded that I know you want to do things your way, but I'm putting the head of this home as the man, and you, the temptation will be to rule over your man. You know, that was part of the curses in the Garden of Eden. But you will always follow that man. So submission came as a command from God because it is easier for the woman to feel they want to be in charge. And so what did God do? He had to curtail. He had to make sure there's a measure to make sure this woman knows the expectation from God is not to rule the man, but to submit. So that way, both of them attain a level of holiness. When the man is trying to love and the woman is trying to submit. Is it easy? None of them is easy. It is not easy for the woman to submit. It is not easy for the man to submit. And so, it is only something that is possible if we are keen on fulfilling what God expects of us. So, submission is not easy. It is a big word. It is understood differently in different contexts. What I would say for sure is that for a woman, submission is sometimes seen as oppression. Tunasikianga ni kama kukaliwa, ni kama Mungu aliangalia tu akasema huyu mama, huyu mwanamke atakaliwa. So that is how it feels sometimes. But if you take it positively, it simply means that I'm willing to give up my right, not even a right, to give up what I feel inside. I feel like I want to rule over this man. But because of God, I'm going to accept the authority of this man and actually submit to it as a response to God. So it's not easy, but it's doable. Yeah.
Please, what's your husband's love language and what is your love language? Do you get it? It is not
What if I choose not to answer that one? It's too private. It's a we thing. So I will choose to pass that.
But
No, what is yours? You may not know the other one, but we want to hear. I'm also eager to hear what your love language is, so that I can love you better.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I think for me, we call it gift or gifting. Call
Mm.
it, yeah, gifting. That one is my love language.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mushai, over to you. You know, you now know.
But what did you, if you didn't know, what did you think her love?
Some of these things, when you're dealing with a human being, it's never sure because we are dynamic animals. Sometimes things change, but it's good to hear it from her. I think I wasn't far away from it, and it's it's good to hear it. Yes, it to be confirmed. Yes. So mine, uh, I don't think even I'm sure about it. And I'm those dynamic people because I think I have several. I have so many things, but I think it's for mine. I think it's the closeness that is there. The closeness. Yes, the closeness. Yeah, that's all I would say. Yeah.
Mm.
Now we'll go like this. After she, what's your love?
Can I first comment about submission? To me, I think submission is different for different people because just like we have all said, I'll just combine their points. If you're loved, you will submit. In fact, you don't even need to force it. It will not even be hard. You're saying submission is hard, but if you're loved, it will not be. Yes, right. It will not be. You'll not even force it. It will just come automatically. Combining with her point, it's also very hard, especially when you feel like there's a gap because we can all attest. We may be doing all these things for them, but there's that time when you guys are not right. Do you really do everything like you do when you're okay? No. So that is where now Oko is saying it is a struggle, but sometimes you still do it. That is why you'll find a woman will still hawasikizani, hawaongei, but they still wake up. If they eat in the morning, they will cook for them. They will arrange their clothes. And again, that giving back submission, like I said, is different for different people. Is you may find for some people, maybe it's how they iron their clothes. What if there are those that love to even iron their wife's clothes? So you see, it is different for different people. So there's that thing that you know that they like and they love to do. They love you doing for them. I think when you do it, that is what I call submission.
Submission.
And it is also more in terms of behavior. It is more of the respect you're giving them. You may not even do anything for them, but so long as you respect that man, they will also feel like you have submitted. Just showing, because I believe respect covers a lot. If you respect him, there are things you just won't want to do. However hard things, bad things are, there are things you will not do just because you respect that man and has given them the authority as the man, as the head, as the of that home, the priest of that home.
What is your love language? What's your faith?
For me, ninamwita nani? I call him many things. Many things. Mm. Uh, so my love language is gifts and quality time. Dates here and there, a holiday here and there, and his love language is quality time together and intimacy. Mm. Thank you.
What's your love language?
Maybe I'm going to change away from that. I will not talk about the love language, but there's something that is like very clear from every person who has talked about this love and the love that Christ loves the church. Just like it is in John 3:16, that for God so loved the world that he gave us his only son. This is what is coming out of all this. Like every person here is talking about giving. What is this that we are giving? They talk about giving their time. I am sure if you go to the gifts, you're talking about resources. They're also part of what we are giving. They also talked about time. So, just as Christ was given to us by God the Father, we who love need to do the same. The giving part is the key point here. Giving. All the three, like the time, resources, and all what we give, will show love, whether you are a woman or a man in this case. The other thing I would imagine that we also need to have this, or to show the love that we are talking about, is being purposeful, or we purpose to do whatever we are doing. I am going to, it is an intentional thing that you're doing. For the man, what do you want in your marriage? What do you want in your home? You're going to intend to do it. As a woman of this home, what is your intention? If you purpose, I think it is going to be easier for each one of you. So I agree, for love, whether in marriage or every other kind of love, these things have to be there. We cannot talk about love. You love someone who does not even have time for you. You love someone who spends all his time away from you. It will not be love anymore. I think if we get it from that point, then for both of us, the wife and the husband, it is going to be easier for us, and we are going to enjoy our lives in marriage.
In response or addition to what Njeri is saying, I think it's clear from her description that love is not complete without giving. To show love, you must be willing to give. Whatever you're giving, whether love, time or gifts or quality uh, acts of services, or even that touch, like Moshai said, closeness, it is all giving. So to show love, you must give. You can't claim to love and yet you're not giving. That's what we're saying. So for me, my love language is quality time, and I also enjoy gifts, but first is quality time. His love language, I would say, is gifts first, and then maybe quality time. Yeah.
Receiving gifts, quality time. Pia yeye ni kuleta gifts na hiyo time, kutafuta time tunakuwa pamoja. Eh,
So thank you guys for that. It's been a beautiful time. Nataka tu as we close up, because this is how we close up. This is how we close up. Tell your husband something. Because now we cannot say for the singles, like episode 1 says, dear future husband. Now you already have good dear husband, or as you call him, or you have more women. Cute. Yeah, tell him something. You can even say I love you, or appreciate your husband, appreciate your wife. As you wish them,
Watu wanaogopa kuambiana kitu.
hatuogopi. So for mine, since he's right here, so let me look at him and tell him.
Oh, and sit upright.
Okay.
Oh.
Dear husband,
Mhm.
dear sweetie,
Mhm.
I love you so much. It's been many 17 years of, right? 17 years of a lot of hard work, for keeping up, for keeping strong, even when things are tough. Thank you for keeping it going. I love you.
What do they say? What do they say? Hmm, I need to ask for a handkerchief. Okay. Mine to you. She said 17. I've known this lady for 26 years. So it's been a long, short time. And mine is to tell you, I'm lucky to have you. I think I'm whom I am today because of you. I would be something different without you. So with that, I want to spend another 100 years with you. Thank you.
I wish you were here to hear this, but I know you're going to get to see this later. I said this when you're around, I'll say it when you're not, that every time when I think of how we met, I am sure without a shadow of doubt that God had meant for us to be. And I pray I never forget that. So that every time it gets hard, I'll remember you're the one God sent for me. And so I will love you for that reason and every other that you will give or not give me. I pledge to love you as I have the last 10 years. Yeah, it's going to be 10 this year. I love you, KK.
Sweetheart, nakupenda sana. Najua pia unanipenda. And I pray that God may continue blessing us, blessing our marriage. And I appreciate for everything that you have done. Yeah, I love you too.
My beautiful, my Joe. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. Take care. Right now, how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love.
Thank you guys so much. That was such an amazing deep conversation. Unexpected that you guys did it. And yes, people, chika maonezi yangu sijui unapendwa aje. I don't know if you know that your man loves you. I don't know if you're sure that he actually loves you. But one thing that you can say is actually marriage works. And
Marriage
that's work.
is work.
And it is work. Okay. One thing that you can say is that marriage works. And it is work. Thank you guys. Till the next episode. Love you. Bye.